It is, and I've got a lot going on in my court. I gotta move a lot of stuff around. I'm shifting up the studio, we'll call it. Oh no!
What's up, everybody?
Oh,
Welcome to ITG Daily, the show that brings you the hottest in gaming news. I'm Drew Bosley, the guy who mutes himself. That's Scott Savage. You can find me on Twitter at ArtisticGamer28. You can find Scott over on Twitter at Savage. Scott, it is June 30th. We are almost upon Canada Day. What's happening, buddy?
we're having a little bit of technical fault between the two
Oh,
of us.
man, that's funny.
My microphone in the midst of working is for some reason the webcam, so I might sound a little funny,
Oh, it
but
sounds
at
good.
least I'm not muted.
Well, yes, at least you can hear you. Dude, coming up on today's show, GTA 6 will be out in 2025. Casey Hudson starts his own studio, and Doom Eternal wants you to start all over again. Scott, you ready to kick it in?
Oh, I'm ready. It sounds like we have a lot of interesting news coming
Oh,
in.
man, we got some good stuff to talk about. GTA 6 will reportedly only be out in 2025. Will also include Fortnite-like evolving map. According to one leaker with a solid track record, the gap between main entry releases won't be until 2025 for GTA. Something which Take-Two's statement during a recent shareholder event backed up recently. Tom Henderson, who previously leaked Call of Duty and Battlefield 2042 details, has released a new video on it, and he claimed that GTA 6 will be set in a modern-day version of Vice City. Sweet! This runs contrary to previous reports that GTA would be set in the 1980s, however, with Henderson claiming that developer Rockstar wants to ensure as much freedom as possible for its staff when it comes to creating content for GTA Online. You know, the big moneymaker, Scott. Henderson also discussed the potential for the GTA 6 map to change over time, similar to how Epic Games regularly overhauls its Fortnite map during end-of-season events. There was also a mention of GTA 6 having multiple playable characters, something we all saw in GTA 5, which, dude, I kind of question whether or not we'd ever go back to one main character for GTA. Sounds like it's not going to happen, and I'm pretty pumped about that.
No, yeah, after what they kind of stumbled upon with GTA 5, I think they're going to stick with that. That was a lot more free when it came to telling storylines, different character interactions. That was a lot of good stuff there.
Absolutely, I think so. Even with these rumors are true, fans are going to be in for a long wait due to several factors. Henderson said that Rockstar has placed a greater emphasis on employee well-being in the wake of several reports during the crunch work conditions that were implemented before Red Dead Redemption 2 came out. The new GTA is believed to be coming to PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC, as they are new to the market. Rockstar is allegedly waiting for more systems to be sold so as to maximize sales. Henderson also added that Rockstar wants to avoid delaying the game. GTA 6 won't be announced early, and thanks to a consistent revenue stream of GTA 5, online of course, Rockstar has the luxury of being able to take as much time as they want for this sequel, dude.
Well, that's good. There's a bit of a contrast between don't want to delay and then also focusing on their employees during crunch time. I think that's very important. So I have no complaints there. That's first and foremost, the people who create these games have to do so under comfortable conditions. Otherwise, we're going to get something a la Anthem. And that would be destructive in the case of Grand Theft Auto. But there's also another thing I know in this statement. They say the gap between main entry releases are going to be wide. But does that mean they will do side entries? We've seen stories of a kind of a mini series they gave up on, I think, a decade ago.
Yeah, China Wars.
Vice City, does that count as a main release, or was that an aside to 3?
No, I think that was the main release, man. I think that was the main release. I thought you saw the side releases, Scott, when you kicked into, like, what was it, GTA China Wars, right? It was like, it was a not mobile, but what was
that was on DS, I believe.
Exactly, yeah, that's where it was. So it was over there. I think that was where you see a little different iteration. Dude, this game launched in 2013. So if we don't get GTA 6 till 2025, dude, that's 12 years. So,
Yeah.
right? Like, holy crap. So that's why we're also getting a revamped version now for next gen consoles with GTA so they can sell it to you again because you're going to be waiting so much longer, another 4 years out yet before we get anything on GTA 6, which
I think
is nuts.
I think they should name it GTA, 5.5,
Oh, man.
5.7, just as it inches closer. But curious that they want to use a modern take on the Vice City map. Are they going to stretch the corners? Are they going to make the map bigger by any means? Because that wasn't terribly large.
No, it wasn't, was it? No, not at all. So I'm sure we're going to be in for a whole reiteration of what Vice City looked like back when we initially played it all those years ago compared to what we're going to be into now. I expect it to be much larger, much bigger, and we'll be around for this one until probably the next generation of PlayStation and Xbox as well. I think that's where you're going to see it. They're waiting, like they said, dude, they're waiting because there's not enough PS5s, there's not enough Xbox Series X's out in the wild. Yeah, when you look at PS4, right, we have 110 million units sold around the world. Xbox doesn't disclose their numbers, so we don't know where they're at, but we know they're up there as well. I wouldn't say around the 100 mark, though, maybe 70 million. I'm definitely curious to see where Xbox lies. But they're waiting for the next generation consoles to have the install base there to launch the GTA 6. So at this point, so the new consoles launch this year. If we don't get it till 2025, right? That's 4 years out. How many consoles are going to be out there in the world? Because people right now, Scott, are starving for next gen consoles.
Yeah, well, they're starving for the consoles themselves, and then the software on top of that. So it's a bit of a give and take. If they drop GTA 6, that will push a lot of console sales. But on the other hand, they are making a business decision here. If they can only sell so many and not recover the cost of production, then that's obviously an issue.
No, absolutely.
They are running a business at the end of the day.
Well, it's all about making money, right? And Northern Nerdcast joins us live over at twitch.tv/the official ITG, just like you can. But if you can't join us live, it's no big deal. Hit us up later, InsideTheGame.ca, podcast services and TV streaming networks around the world. But Northern Nerdcast shouts out with Liberty City stories and Vice City stories. I said, yeah, dude, that's very true, right? So maybe, dude, we never got anything else out of GTA 5, Scott. But what we did get was online, and that makes them so much money. And then they launch Red Dead Redemption 2, which I highlighted the other day that I actually finally finished that campaign.
Yes.
Wow, that was awesome.
That's a milestone right there. That's a long game.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping for the same amount of content out of the next GTA. They have a lot to live up to.
Absolutely. Northern Nerdcast also said they did shout out that they're going to bring DLC in the way of like a campaign, but we never saw it for GTA 5. Man, they moved over, they transitioned over to Red Dead. Red Dead came out, the story campaign was great. The online component for Red Dead Online was very rocky for like numerous months. It's now solid.
Yeah.
I haven't been back to it in a long time. Now that I finished up the campaign, I might be bouncing back in. So hit me up at Cutter 28 and maybe we can hang out and play. But dude, it's funny to watch how Rockstar handles their property. They have the pedigree to just, you know what? It's out when it's out. And you guys will all wait for it with, bated breath and just kind of grasping for any details we can. Because here we are talking about rumors right now because all we want is the next GTA, Scott. I'm starving for it, dude.
Well, and I think Rockstar is a bit like Smaug, just sitting on a pile of gold, They've made their millions. If they wanted to put this out in 2031, they could.
Dude, yeah, well, that's what I said, right? They're going to reiterate and hopefully upgrade the GTA Online component right now for next-gen consoles. I'm hoping they rework some of the controls, man, because it's so clunky. As we said earlier in the past, we've tried to go back to this game. For me, I'm so far disconnected from the control mechanic now behind it. It's just too clunky to get into. If they can up it to where Red Dead Online is and Red Dead itself, I think they'd have a much better control scheme moving forward. And I'd definitely be back in. And I would love to go through the heist, dude.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I have a prediction for what GTA is going to do in the meantime.
Okay.
This is maybe an unpopular opinion, but you know how they've enjoyed selling us GTA 5 a few times now. I think they
Yeah.
may try once more. A special new gen version instead of the updates that we're used to. I
Yeah.
think they might try and do a full release of it.
Like the full game or just the online component, Scott?
I'm thinking the full game, but then again, as just the online component, that would be far easier for them to do. That's a lot less scope.
Well, that's what they did with Red Dead Online, right? You could actually buy one or the other or both. So that gives you the ability, if you just want to hang out with your friends and play online, you can buy Red Dead Online and just do that. And a lot of people did. A lot of people jumped on that. And I can see that moving forward with GTA 5. Honestly, dude, I just want the online component. That's all I want. I don't need the story campaign. As much as I loved it and I thought it was so well done and one of my favorite games of all time, I think it's just to keep me going with GTA, to tie me over till GTA 6, I just need the online component, and I need it to run a lot better than what it currently does.
Yeah, agreed there.
Scott, final thoughts on the fact that they're going to have a rotating map design. What are your thoughts on that one?
Oh, I think that's actually quite a great idea. There's going to be some people that are annoyed because their favorite spot will go away.
Sure.
I
Tilted
witnessed
Towers,
that
Fortnite.
firsthand in Fortnite.
Yeah,
when
yeah.
this Murky Mire, I think, was my location. It didn't last long, and I was mad after it was gone. But there is a lot more that they can bring to the table by switching parts of the map out, and we've seen some, mainly Warzone, use those changes to kind of tell a story. So
Sure.
I like that inclusion. I think that's a really good idea.
No, absolutely. I'm excited to see what it holds in for us. But dude, it's still 4 years away. So it's so far away, man. But let's keep going because now we got a new former BioWare GM, Casey Hudson, forms Humanoid Studios. Dude, he's on to his own thing now. I'm surprised it actually has taken him this long. Making the announcement on Twitter, Hudson said he's been working with some colleagues on something awesome, revealing it to be a new company, Humanoid Studios. We'll see what new IP he's working on. We really don't know much other than he's got something else in the works. But it took him a long time, dude, to get his own studio going.
I like the name of the studio,
Humanoid.
but it makes it brings questions up. Is there extraterrestrial help? Why? Why? It's not human studios.
Yeah. Scott, here's a story that kind of caught me by surprise. So, the PS5 version of Greedfall won't upgrade for free. Now, here's why it kind of irks me a little bit, and I don't understand, and I've reached out to our contact for more information on the reasoning behind this. The PlayStation 5 version of Greedfall launches today. But if you redeemed the PlayStation Plus version that was offered at the start of the year, it won't upgrade to the PS5 version for free. Therefore, the RPG follows it follows the footsteps of Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade, which asks PS5 users to pay full price for the Square Enix title. So, basically, you're asked again to buy Greedfall. The news has been confirmed by the official Greedfall Twitter account, which responded to a fan asking about this very topic. The profile responded, "The free version obtained by the PlayStation Plus subscription is not eligible for the free upgrade to the PlayStation 5 version. Rather, interestingly though, those who subscribe to Xbox Game Pass, dude, get the upgrade for free for Xbox Series X and S." This is why I reached out to our contact and asked, what is going on here, and why would they do this?
Yeah, it's a bit strange that they have a kind of a split response based on what company they're working with, but I suppose Game Pass has, in a way, paid already the company on our behalf. Whereas if it was a PlayStation Now game that was given for free, nobody's really paid for that. I'm not sure how corporate handles it in Sony land, but
right.
If I haven't put the money in, then I suppose that does make sense as to why I'm not getting free updates for this free game. Sure. And I think back to it was a jump of generations last time, but Destiny and GTA, we had to rebuy those on the Xbox One. So there is precedent already for that.
Right. To me, it struck me odd that if I'm already getting it for essentially free through the Xbox Game Pass service, I can then upgrade for free on Xbox Series X and S. But yet, if I already own it, or no, sorry, let me take that back. If I got it from PlayStation Plus, I can't use the Xbox model and still upgrade it on the PS5. Game Pass and games with gold though are two different services, right? So maybe that's where it lies, Scott, because it's PlayStation Plus and not PlayStation Now. So maybe if it was on PlayStation Now, it would then see the upgrade. So maybe that's where there's a bit of a disconnect there, because it was on Plus given as a free title versus PlayStation Now where you're paying for an actual service.
Oh, okay. So yeah, that is their
Maybe,
similar
right?
to a Game Pass effect where they've put money towards these developers to secure that game on PlayStation Now.
Yeah.
So if that's the case, then I really don't quite understand why we're not getting the update.
Well,
And as far as I know, Greedfall kind of fell far short of expectations.
absolutely. Yeah,
So you kind of want to support the player base that's there, really.
Well, yeah, and there's new DLC on the way for it too. You can now get the gold edition, which we'll be talking about later in the in the show. But yeah, it's so if you got it on PlayStation 4 with Plus, you cannot upgrade it to the PlayStation 5 version. But if you own the game on PlayStation, like you actually purchased the game, you can then get the upgrade for free. So yeah, there's a bit of a weird caveat there, and I mean, I've reached. That's why I said I've reached out for clarification as to why this is an actual thing. But we'll see. Maybe that is why. Maybe I just won't even get an answer. I don't know. But we'll see. Hopefully, we'll get an answer, and we'll be able to answer that question as to what's going on. But dude, I jumped into Greedfall, and I was intrigued until the combat started, and that's where I fell off. It was so floaty.
I honestly did not even get to combat.
Oh, really?
I was very curious to check it out, but the pacing of it just didn't sit right with me, and I didn't stick with it.
Yeah, the combat for me, it was just like, whoa, I'm out. There was this.
Unfortunately, I have 1 terabyte, if that, to fill.
Yeah,
And
yeah. Sure.
if I'm not playing it, I gotta get it out of there.
Clean it up. Let's clean it up. Let's clean up over on the Stadia update, Scott. The splendid and colorful, charismatic Moonlighter lands on Stadia July 1st, and you can play for free with Stadia Pro. Moonlighter. But Moonlighter isn't the only game headed to Stadia Pro starting July 1st. Pro members can also claim Street Power Football, Terraria, and the Dark Side Detective. Also on June 30th, this is the last chance you can grab SteamWorld Dig, Ari and Secret of Seasons. Scott, didn't you and Corey review that one?
Not Ari.
That was Adam. It was Corey and Adam. I knew we reviewed it somewhere on the show. You can check that out, though. The guys really liked it, InsideTheGame.ca, so check that out. You, though, did review SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom with Nate.
That's right. We did get that one. I have some fond memories, but again, we have the review on, so if you are curious about that, we've done a review.
Yeah, also leaving is Pukanuku and Resident Evil 7 Biohazard, which is currently free on Stadia Pro. So make sure you claim those, and then it's all yours. But also coming as of today, Get Packed Fully Loaded is there. But Scott, here's the one that I've been playing for nonstop, but I'm also playing it on Xbox, not on Stadia, because I don't know how well the latency would hold up when you're playing Rainbow Six Siege, dude.
Oh yeah, being an online-based service on
right?
a very online game, yeah, I could see they're a little bit nervous to get on that.
Yeah. So we'll see. I'm highly invested though over on Xbox. There's no doubt about that. That's why I said I broke the 700-hour mark on that game.
Holy!
I played a little bit. Yeah, definitely my go-to shooter. So if you get the opportunity, check it out on Stadia. I'd love to hear feedback on whether it holds up. I think if you have a solid internet connection, you'll be good. So I think I might fare okay, but at the same time, man, any little hiccup on that, and it's life or death, right? So it's easy to go down in that game on a regular basis. Never mind with the internet issues too. But
Yeah, and well, it seems like both of us, if we have decent internet until the majority of the neighborhood wakes up,
that's
and then it's a different story.
yep, that's for sure. Yeah, we got a tower over here that needs repaired. Would be nice if they did it ASAP. But either way, Scott, let's get into Doom Eternal's next upgrade. You ready? Next gen upgrade screws PS5 players.
Oh no.
Doom Eternal's next gen upgrades are out today for PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X and S, bringing enhancements to last year's well-received first-person shooter. The upgrade is free, but it also more or less tells PlayStation players to go to hell, it says. There's no way to carry your campaign save data from the PlayStation 4 to the PS5. Why not, Scott? You have to start all over again. Dude, Nate has played how many hours of Doom Eternal, right? He's beat it in the game like
I think he
twice or
he
three
beat
times.
it on the hardest mode too, and I
did.
want to believe that he did it without dying.
Yeah,
which is insane.
So he beat Doom Eternal over on Xbox, but could you imagine bringing your great upgraded game to PS5 and not being able to continue from where you were? Man,
Oh man,
that's
that's a
unfortunate.
lot of hours. That game is large too, so if you're getting in just for the DLC, in my case, you gotta have to go through the whole entire game, which it's a great game to go through again. Don't get me wrong, but
Sure.
at the same time, I don't have the vision I did the first time around. So these graphical upgrades may be lost on me. I might just be weeping for several hours.
Yeah, that's for sure, dude. They're working on a fix, so that's good to hear. At least they'll have something sorted out, hopefully for you with the PlayStation 5. Scott, let's get on to game announcements, updates, and releases for today. What do you got?
All right. Well, we have the last Ori crew. I think I have that right.
Yeah, I watched the video today. It's Aura Crew. Yeah,
Ori crew. Okay.
that's very cool.
That is coming from Prime Matter and Gold Knights. They have revealed the first gameplay glimpse of the upcoming title. This is an action RPG titled The Last Aura Crew. The Last Aura Crew transports to a wonderful sci-fi medieval world. That sounds cool already. Of Wardinia. Players take on the role of Silver, a man who crash landed years ago on this mysterious planet. I'm intrigued already. Just to suddenly awaken from his cryo chamber. The mystery of Silver's role in the story will unfold as players begin to learn more about him as they journey through Wardinia with him. That sounds really interesting. That's one I'm gonna have to look up right after this. We also have new content on the console versions of Warhammer Vermintide 2. Nate will be very happy for this one.
Yes, he will be.
Sister of the Thorn and Chaos Waste have reached the PlayStation and the Xbox versions. The Xbox One and Series X and S has a new career, Sister of the Thorn, and it was released earlier this month on PC and became the most popular career to date. Okay, well, that's interesting. There's some good content then, for sure. Sister of the Thorn on the PlayStation 4 is available today as well as the hit expansion Chaos Waste.
That's cool.
Very interesting.
Dude,
that game's getting a little on in age now, so
it's definitely
curious.
kind of getting long in the tooth. I want to get back to the last Aura Crew real quick. It's a local co-op game. Dude,
very cool.
Highlight, and this is the first launch title that's coming out of Prime Matter. We've heard the Koch Media there announce their new premium games label, and this is what it is. This is one of the games that's coming out of the Prime Matter. Curious to see how this goes. It's got this story-based options of choices, which are never there's no wrong or right answer. The game just continues on. So I like how they're taking that approach. So definitely curious to see how it goes. Scott, I think you're going to enjoy that one.
Oh, yeah. Well, local co-op is something I've been championing for a very long time now.
Yeah, for sure.
We do have some full releases today, and that would be Doki Doki Literature Club Plus. And this is coming to the PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Xbox One, Series X and S, the Switch, and the PC. It's just about everywhere.
Almost.
And then we have Greedfall making its debut on PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X and S.
Yep, just a little caveat there. Watch your PlayStation 5 version. Just depends on which one you got. So, Scott, that'll wrap up today's show, everybody. This has been ITG Daily. Thank you for hanging out with us. Don't forget, you can always join us live over on twitch.tv/theofficial ITG, as well as YouTube. And of course, if you can't join us live, it's not a big deal. Hit us up later. InsideTheGame.ca, podcast services, and TV streaming networks around the globe. Until tomorrow, I'm Drew, that's Scott, and this is Inside the Game.